Hi, Blair Bears. It's me, just popping on really fast. I'm so excited to introduce this next episode with famed, world-renowned psychic medium and hilarious / comedian Travis Holp. It was such a thrill for me to have him on. As you know, I've been on a psychic medium journey this past year trying to speak with my dearly departed brother. And, you know, this guy's legit as hell. Been following him for so long, and it was just such a big treat. He flew down from Seattle, so it was a really big episode. And I hope you enjoy it and check out his book, Are You There, Spirit? It's me, Travis. He tours sold out nationally. And also, I just want to thank everyone who came out to the Nacho Bitches show in New York. It was so much fun, and it was so good for my soul and my heart. And next up, I hope to see the Blair Bears out at my Netflix is a Joke show May 5th at the Hollywood Improv, 7:30 p.m. I have some really funny friends with me, and I really need to pack that out because important Netflix people will be there. And then I have so many other cities coming up, but the next up will be Indianapolis, May 22nd through the 24th. So get those tickets, blairsocci.com, punchup.live/Blair Socci, posted all over my socials. And lastly, thank you guys all for your amazing feedback on the Anthony episode, the Ron episode, so much fun, Johnny episode. We have really fun people coming up as well. So please leave a 5-star review if you have a second. It only takes a minute and it makes such a difference. Thank you for all your comments, engagement, sharing it. I love you guys. I love doing this podcast. Okay, please enjoy Travis and have a great week. I love you so much. What's up, Blair Bears? We're back with an incredible, momentous occasion. We are here today with Travis Holp. Welcome to the Spaced Out Podcast.
I'm so excited to be here, and thank you for letting me wear my sunglasses with you today.
Oh my gosh, you know, I always give the guest an option. For me, it is because I am autistic, I like to have a nice little barrier, the lights, and also so I don't have to do a full beat every time I record, you know.
Just lips.
Just lips.
Back when I did drag and we would do Pride, it would be like so early in the morning we'd have to get for the parade. So the trick was like sunglasses, wig.
Right.
Just lips.
Right. And I would be thinking, and I don't know if this was a matter to you guys, but I would be like, how am I going to be a gorgeous drag queen, but also have sun protection?
Yes. Well, so you just burn. You just suffer for the art.
That's what I love. You know, I don't have that in me. That's another reason. I was just telling this to a friend yesterday that I couldn't go on Survivor because, you know, one day my skin will be ruined for years.
Done.
Yeah.
Done.
Not to mention the scarring from the bug bites.
Honey, I burn and I'm sensitive. I would be like, where are we staying after this?
Yes. Can I tell the listeners, the viewers, this? Travis has incredible skin, and, you know, skincare is a big topic on this podcast.
Oh, listen, I love some skincare. I was in the beauty industry for 17 years.
You were?
Yes.
Oh, it's my special interest.
Is it?
Yes.
Do you have like a favorite?
A favorite skincare?
Yeah. Like, what's your favorite skincare item?
So some of my favorite brands that I am currently using, Bioma. I really like their sunscreen is my favorite. Sunscreen is the most difficult for me to find because I am so tricky about how it feels on my skin.
Yeah.
And then, so I really like their face fluid. Excellent. Can't feel it. Prequel has an incredible vitamin C with ferulic acid. That is a dupe of the SkinCeuticals. That's like $188. And then moisturizer. I have a controversial opinion that I think the moisturizer you pick is the least important. Right now I'm using La Roche-Posay Triple Repair Cream, which is in the dispenser to put on your body and face. And then I use Retinol. I think I'm using Naturium right now. I'm
got all my favorites.
Is this what you use?
Well, I've used those.
Those brands?
Right now, I'm using the Beekman moisturizer,
yes.
which it's made with like goat milk and God knows
I've heard
what
that's
else.
Great.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
The Lipstick Lesbians, I don't know if you know them, but like they do like
I'm trying to become one.
Listen, same. They do beauty content and they recommended it. And I was like, this is the best moisturizer.
Right.
It's really great. I'm not sponsored by them. I just love them.
Yeah, I'm not either, but
if they want to.
Yeah, no, I'm about to be there. And, you know, I do ultimately have intentions, hopes to become a skincare TikTok girl. I just don't know how to edit a video.
I can't. I can't. My ADHD at 30 seconds, I'm done. I can't do it.
Oh my gosh. Well, that was the thing because I was about to ask you if you're neurodivergent.
Yes.
Okay, because I'm both ADHD and autistic.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's actually a really beautiful gift. I actually think it's what helps me connect in the way that I do.
I was just about to say, because I see that theory a lot, is that a lot of neurodivergence, it helps, because the part of maybe your capability to tap into unseen.
Yes.
Sensory.
When I went to my first healer, she looked at me and she was like, the reason why you experience anxiety, depression, ADHD is because it's a part of your gift.
Right.
And that my whole life I was like, oh, I hate this. And I tried medications. They didn't work for me. I'm not anti-med. They just didn't work.
Right.
But, and so when I started really tapping into my spiritual practice is when all of it kind of started to make sense. So
wait, so when did you first realize there was like, a message that's odd?
Yeah. When I was like as young as 4, I would remember. Yeah. I would remember like going into my parents' room at night because I was seeing stuff. I would see people in my room. I would see shadows and figures. I'd see people in my windows and I'd be like running into my mom's room. I'd be like, Mom, there's a man in my room. I still say that to her, but it's not as funny now.
Is it in
she's
your
like,
family
yeah,
at all?
She's like,
but
oh,
like,
there's a
were
man in
you
your
the
room.
first person in your family or do you come from like a like open, spiritually open?
Well, my granny and I used to use the Ouija board to connect with our loved ones. We did when I was like 6.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Okay, because, we actually just had Jacqueline Novak on recently, and I just wonder, because, a lot of people are really, like, are really like, don't fuck with a Ouija board.
Well, so here's the deal. It's when you're using a Ouija board, most people aren't using it with a clear intention.
Right.
So if you're just using a Ouija
At
board
like a sleepover
or cards,
where shit goes awry.
Yeah, because you're like, anybody answer this question. And then,
Right.
like any energy will show up and answer the question.
Come up. That's like, I'm waiting to be called.
Yeah, it's no different than using tarot cards. You just have to set a clear intention.
Okay.
I don't think they're bad.
So when you connect, because do you do like a little spiritual protection ritual before?
Yeah, I flood myself with God's white light.
Right.
And which is so funny because God has always been a weird word for me up until the past like couple of years.
I talk about this every episode. Yes. Because I always say, like, I talk about God a ton, but like for me, God is just divine, loving intelligence.
Yeah. Same. I had a lot of hangups around religion growing up because growing up queer and growing up in Ohio in a conservative family.
Yeah.
Like God love my parents are amazing.
Right.
But there was a lot of fear there.
When did you like come out?
Oh, girl, I don't know if I was ever in.
Oh, okay.
That
So they
closet
knew.
was made of glass, honey. Yeah, babes.
And they were cool and they were just like,
no, they weren't cool.
Oh, they weren't cool.
Oh no. Like I came out officially at 14 and
you are ballsy.
Honey, I was ready. My family just had a lot of fear.
Right.
They were afraid for my safety. It was things that they were told by their parents as well.
Another thing is like, because I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming our age is quite similar. I don't know, but
23?
Yes. But I grew up in Orange County, and I didn't know one gay person. Of course, I knew one who didn't come out till way, way, way later, but that was it. Like when I moved to New York and I got into the arts, and then like I met all these gay people, and I was like, oh, I love these people. Like I have so much in common. I feel so much connected, but it was just like, I didn't know any gay people growing up.
Yeah, I really didn't. I mean, that's not true. Once I got to high school, I started seeing more gay people. The only gay people that I knew were people that worked at my parents' restaurant. And that was like, the only 2 people that I knew.
Right.
And, but when I came out though, my parents had a tough time with it. They're great now though. Like now they love it.
Right.
It's their most favorite thing.
Yeah.
They come to see my shows.
Right. Oh, that's so cute.
I know the coming out as a medium was actually a lot easier than coming out as gay.
Well, you already have practice. You already had a lifetime of practice.
Yeah.
Of dealing with that, like what could happen if to be loved for like the truth of wwho you are.
Yeah. My mom was like, "There's nothing you could do at this point, I think, to shock me."
I always say that to my parents, like at this point, because I think Orange County and where I grew up, I didn't know one liberal person either.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was like, I always say Orange County, especially when I was there, like being raised is like deep Texas. That's how conservative it is. Wow. But same thing with my family. There's like a lot they haven't understood, but that they have grown to accept and love like over the years. And I'm so close with my parents, and but they were really strict, and there was a lot they didn't understand, and they were afraid of me going in the arts. They were afraid when I was a comedian my dad would be like, you went to like, you have 2 degrees from really good schools. Why are you in bars with these like degenerate men like late at night? Like, you know, it scares me.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. Then I started traveling. They're like, oh my God, you're in these cities by yourself, you know? And it's all like, it's all fear, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. It's not like it's not like they don't like you for you.
Yeah. And they were raised to believe that like you couldn't have a stable income being a creative.
100%.
And now I think we're so lucky we live in this world now where you can be creative, make a good living.
Right. I'm glad you think it's stable, but
well, I mean, look,
I'm getting there.
Well, you know, the thing is like I was in the beauty industry and in corporate America for a long time. That has the illusion of stability. Right. You could be fired at any minute.
That's so true. And like I always see those posts on Threads where they're like, I didn't take any of my paid time off. I didn't take any of my vacation. I gave and they just dropped me, and I'm just like, oh, because it may seem stable in like the societal matrix of things, but ultimately like you are always giving up a lot emotionally or like in your identity or whatever it is.
And some people love it. Like some people love that. They need that. Yeah. Not me, babes.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Yeah. Okay. So we like to start off the podcast, and I'm just jamming this in before we forget because I have so many questions for you. But we like to start off with the Freako fact of the week.
I love that.
Yeah. And I don't know if you brought a fact. Did you?
I did. I don't know if it's like super freaky.
No, it can be. We're really open here.
It's kind of weird.
So this is Travis Holp with his Freako fact of the week.
So we produce roughly 2 liters of saliva every single day.
Whoa.
And in our lifetime, we'll produce enough saliva to fill like 2 swimming pools.
Really?
Isn't that weird?
That is horrible.
There's gotta be some way that we can
measure this.
Well, I mean,
can we do
I don't
field
know.
testing.
Well,
for
I
this?
don't know. Maybe we can like I was gonna say salinate, but that's not ocean water. I'm just thinking because with the data centers of AI, and we apparently have this impending water shortage.
Right.
Maybe that we could desanitize. That's the word.
Yeah.
Oh,
the spit.
We can all come together with our saliva.
For our saliva.
And save the world.
I have a lot of saliva.
Yeah.
Not that anyone needed to know that, but no, that's a really fabulous Freako fact. Travis absolutely just lobbing a banger right off the top. Okay, and mine is, equally beautiful. The average human would have to consume 300 hamburgers to match the equivalent of what hummingbirds eat every day to survive. Would you know those fuckers are eating that much? I never even see them stationary. How are they eating while moving?
That's crazy.
So when did you start practicing or mediumship, or how did you, once you realized you were seeing the shadow figures or whatever, and I guess you might have talked to your grandma about it, or how did you, what happened? How'd you develop these gifts
So she was like the first person that I would ever share that I could hear and see things.
Yeah.
And I didn't really share it with my parents because, the devil.
Right.
And so when as I was getting older, I've always been drawn to tarot cards and giving people readings. And so like I would get drunk and I would read my friend's tarot cards.
I've heard this so many times. Actually, my friend Audrey that I met you with, who I love, she's such a hilarious comedian. I can't wait to have her on here. But she says that when she's drunk, she gives people readings.
Yes, because it gets your critical overthinking mind out of the way. And so I would give my friends readings. Their loved ones would come through. Right. And that wasn't anything that I ever really I was like, oh, I do this when I'm drunk.
You're
That's
just
fun.
You're like, I just it was like a silly fun party trick. Yeah.
Yeah. But it wasn't until I got sober and I left my job in the beauty industry in 2020 where I hopped on TikTok and I started giving readings. And I started with cards, but then eventually just mediumship started coming through. Like people's loved ones would start coming through during readings. And so I'm a Virgo. I'm an avid, like I need to study everything. I think it's part of the neurodivergence as well.
Oh, honey, yeah.
I need to know everything about this.
I need 2 to 5 days to do my heart's desire for research for anything, which, you know, most things it's just a compulsion. Like I just love knowledge.
Yes, same. I love knowing all these things. So I started studying mediumship. There's an actual school in the UK called the Arthur Findlay College. It's amazing.
I have been thinking about Arthur Findlay College for like, I guess I found out about it a couple of years ago, but yeah, I want to go so bad.
Here's your validation. I took a lot of classes online. So it was during COVID, so I did all my stuff online.
I did so many weird classes in COVID too.
You did?
I did. Yes. It's so funny. All my friends make fun of me because like I took like Akashic Records. I took 3 Reiki certifications. I took breathwork certifications. I love it. But never with intent to like use any of it, but just to know about it.
Well, and the more that we know, the more that we can use that for ourselves, right? I think me as a medium, I've grown the most personally since I've done this work in my entire life.
Right.
And so, so that was it. And then I just, you know, as the universe works, doors just started opening and opportunities started coming up. And so I follow wherever spirit guides me.
Right. Do you have any siblings?
I have a sister. She's younger. She does see spirits. She doesn't anymore. I had to teach her how to like turn it off.
Right.
But I remember being kids and she would wake up screaming and she would see people in our room. There was one point where we shared a room.
Yeah.
And she would see things.
Yeah. And I had this too when I was
I've never been able to like, I always see shadows and figures.
Yeah.
When I was really young, I could see people. I don't see it that way anymore.
Right.
Now it's like shadows, figures, silhouettes. I mostly feel.
Or do you get images in your head?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like little like flashes or pictures.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but that's it. And so she doesn't want to. She's a teacher.
Right.
She's a mom.
Right. She's like, I don't have time.
She's like, get your ghost ass away from the foot of my bed.
So, have you ever tapped in or like asked spirit if it is like a little bit hereditary? I mean, I know we are all psychic on a level. Like it just depends on like how open you are and whatever circumstances you come in to.
I think it is. I mean, I would like to believe that. I hear a lot of stories of people who they'll be like, you know, I'm a 5th generation psychic, or my granny was very intuitive.
Yeah.
So,
but she wasn't like a working psychic or anything.
No, not at all. No, she worked in a pizza restaurant. She was a cook.
I love a pizza restaurant.
She was the best. My grandparents owned these amazing pizza restaurants.
Really?
Yeah, they did.
What kind of pizza?
Just like very thin crust, delicious.
Okay, because my dad's full Italian, has like a wood burning oven and like makes pizza and everything.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and I love it.
I love that.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Your family owns pizza restaurants.
Yeah, well, they did. They don't anymore, but they did. And so I grew up around all of that.
And so when you were developing these gifts, were you like meditating a lot, or like how were you working on it?
I meditate nearly every day.
You do?
I do.
What kind of meditation?
I do what's called a sitting in the power.
Okay.
You know, if you know anything about mediumship development, sitting in the power, it's pretty classic, but it's just you just envision your energy expanding out, connecting with the energy of the universe, and you just sit there and hold that as long as you can.
Okay.
It's kind of tough.
Right. But it totally is.
Especially if you've got like the ADHDs and all of that.
Yeah, and our
it's fun.
Brains have all been absolutely decimated by screens. Like I mean, I spent my whole life reading, and I'm so thankful I didn't grow up in the screen time, because now I barely read. I mostly listen to audiobooks, because every time I need to sit down to read, it's like I just give into the phone instead. How do you recharge? Because, like, even when you do a reading, and I've wondered this with, like, healers and stuff, and even when I was doing some, teaching some breath work, like, privately and stuff, like, I'm so open that it's hard to separate, like, people's deep feelings.
Yeah. For me, when I'm doing readings, it really charges me.
Really?
Yes. I
That's
love it.
That's so cool.
And especially after a live event where I've done an hour and a half of readings, even if the readings are really tough. I mean, we talked through a lot of
painful
tragic
shit.
departures. Yeah. And I feel so charged afterwards. I always feel so alive afterwards.
That's amazing.
It is really beautiful and it's really fun. I think I had to learn how to kind of manage my energy though.
Right.
Like on a show day, I can't don't do a lot of private readings during stretches of shows. I really just try to make sure I have a routine for myself.
Right.
Like get up, meditate, journal, gym.
How long do you meditate for?
15 minutes.
Okay. How long do you journal for?
15 minutes.
Okay. And is that just free thought? Because I journal every day.
3 pages.
I have my whole life.
Do my morning pages, 3 pages of just whatever's coming through.
Okay.
And it just clears
Artist
my head.
way.
Yes.
Brain dump.
You know.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And so then when you're doing these shows, like how did comedy come into this?
So here's what's funny. I was with this old management company that used to rep me, and they were like, "We have this idea. We think we could get you booked in comedy clubs." I was like, "But I'm not like a comedian though."
Right.
And I was like, "I'm gay and I have trauma, therefore I'm funny." But like, I'm not a comedian.
Right.
I don't have like a bit.
Yeah, like you don't want to set up like a false expectation for what the show would be, even if you are funny.
Yeah. So we did some research, and there were 2 other mediums that were heavily circuiting comedy clubs.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, well, what's a third? A third couldn't hurt.
Right.
Some of these audiences are primed for it.
Right.
So maybe it's been so fun. I love the rooms. I love the energy. I love that I get to just be myself and share these messages from spirit because our loved ones are funny.
Yeah.
I had a grandmother flash me the other night at a show. Yes. I'm like doing a reading for someone, then all of a sudden I see this grandmother in my peripheral flash me, and I look and I'm like, who is the grandmother that flashed people? And the woman right in front of me that I was looking at goes, oh, that's my grandma.
Oh, that's hilarious.
She used to set off her medical alert bracelet, and the firemen would come in, and then she would flash them when they came in. And
wow.
I know. It's like that stuff. So there's these beautiful moments that happen.
And that's so fun too, because it like brings the lightness of like death or the other or the scariness of like the other side kind of.
Yeah, because you know
the fear of it.
Yeah, death is the number one thing that people are afraid of.
Right.
And so to be able to bring some levity around that is fun. I mean, at best I think I'd be like a comedian. But I think
I
that
didn't
like
even think of that. That's so great.
But I love the comedy clubs though, and it's been so nice to meet comics that are in the space because I have such a deep like respect for what you do.
Yeah.
Because what you all do is truly like an art to be able to structure a joke and to bring levity to people and bring joy. I mean, you guys are healers as well.
Yeah.
And so it's just nice to be in that space with people that I love and respect.
Yeah. Oh, that's really nice. I love that because I didn't grow up seeing comedy, so I basically started comedy about 6 months after I was like introduced to it, like after I saw my first show. So I had no frame of reference really when I started. And I just remember like being around comedy and like trying it and being like, oh, this is it. This is what, because I wanted to be a novelist. Like that was what I was moved to New York to grad school for, to be a novelist. And it never crossed my mind. I didn't even think it was, even when I started, I was like, this is just some like silly thing I'm doing in private, like, because I'm across the country. I never thought it would be a career, like at all, like didn't even, but I just remember being like, it felt like, oh, this is what I've been searching for forever.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Isn't that such a great feeling? That's how I felt after I gave my first mediumship reading to someone. Yeah, even when I was reading cards, like that felt fine. But the first time a spirit communicator came through and I delivered messages to this woman, I was like, oh.
Was it, how did you know? Because if it was that was the first time, were you trying to speak to someone or did they just come in?
I was very adamant. I was like, I don't want to talk to dead people.
You were?
I'm not Teresa Caputo. I'm not John Edward.
Yeah.
Like, that's not going to be my jam.
Right.
I just want to read these cards and I want people to live the life that their soul came here to live.
Right.
And I've always had that belief around readings. Is that a reading can help you change your life.
Right.
Because they've helped me change my life.
Yeah.
And so I was very adamant, but then one day I was giving someone a reading and I'm looking at her and I hear the name Buck over and over and over again in my head. And I look at her and I was like, how do you understand the name Buck? And she goes, that's my uncle. And he died 2 weeks ago.
Whoa.
And then I delivered just a couple other small pieces of information.
And then you realize after and you're like, okay, that was a transmission.
Yeah, we're doing this.
Yeah, because I have always been interested in this my whole life. And, you know, I've had some interesting moments where I'm like, but my brother died a year ago.
Yeah.
And so I've been seeing a lot of mediums this past year and also trying to figure out, like, I'm trying to, like, because I just wanted to talk to him so bad, you know? And then I'm like, should I try to pursue this? Like, because I've also had people oddly way before my brother died tell me, they're like, I see mediumship. There's something. I'm like, get a mediumship for you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I love that. And I'm sorry to hear about your brother.
Thanks. It's like, I started this podcast he named the podcast like the day before he died.
He did?
Yeah. He was so creative and funny. And a lot of what this podcast was, I started it in earlier at the end of 2025. And the log line, it's like pop culture, womanhood, mental health, and a little bit of aliens. But a lot of it has been me learning how to keep going in comedy, which is in many ways is such like a difficult juxtaposition to go out and then be like a joy responsible like t-shirt gun at night. You know what I mean? So it's been really like when he first died, I was like, I have to quit comedy. Because I was like, I can't laugh. I'm never going to laugh again. Yeah. You know, he was like everything.
Did you, when you saw mediums, were they helpful?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and I kept like, I didn't have really a lot of experience with getting readings prior to his death, but, there was some really specific things, and there was like common threads between 4 different, and they all kept saying like, God, he loves to joke around. Like he keeps wanting to joke around. He keeps saying like, remember the good times. Like he keeps saying Costa Rica keeps coming up. Like we had a surf trip there. Like he says he loves the necklace that you wear. They all said that. And it's like a picture of us and my other brother. Just like there was multiple things that were a common thread. And like things to make me laugh. Like they're like, God, he jokes around a lot,
I love that. Yeah. And I think that's like the true essence of what mediumship is that it's healing. Yeah. And allowing us to know that there's more than just what we can see with our physical senses.
Right. And then like this last one I spoke to was like the whole message of like the entire hour was that he wants me to allow myself to be loved and to get a husband. And I was telling my mom, and I was like getting annoyed because I've just never centered my life around men. Sure. And I think it's probably, obviously there's like a lot of trauma and, I found dating men traumatizing a lot of my life. And then like, I just sort of stopped like looking or trying for a long time and I built my life to be in such a way that I feel like really fulfilled and complete. But I also do think that like, your spiritual evolution, I keep getting the message is like, okay, you've gone as far as you could go, like single. And I'm like, oh God, Yeah. I still clearly, even if it's not conscious, I have a lot of fear around it. But I was like, that's what my brother's coming through to say. I was like, okay, I get it. Even you're dead. You're still telling me this? I was like, come on. And then my mom like brings it up to me last weekend. And she's like, well, you got to start thinking about your future and like all this stuff. I was like, fuck, I guess I got to like start dating. And just like the idea of it sounds awful.
Well, I think our loved ones can help us. So, like, if you do want help in that department, ask your brother. Have him send you somebody. If that's what you want, though, like, do you want a relationship?
I would want, like, my dream. Yeah, I would. Okay. But I think I have a hard time believing it's out there. Yeah. Like, what I would want.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah. It's hard it's hard for me to truly believe. And I know that everything is, like, what we believe. And so I've been trying to work on that belief for a long time, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's 8 billion people on this planet.
I know.
There's bound to be one.
I know. You're right.
At least one.
I know. You're right. Are you with anyone?
No.
And,
no, I'm with you. I have a lot of previous hangups around relationships. Dating is interesting because I don't know about you, but like when I go on a date, I can't do what's your favorite color?
I can't either.
Where did you grow up?
That's like neurodivergence in general, where it's like small talk is tough because you just want to talk about like the things you're interested in. Yeah. Like being neurodivergent, really the definition is like interest-based attention only, and so I find small talk really draining. Yeah. Like it's masking for me. And then you add being a semi-public figure with doing extremely atypical work. And I find for me, like people have a lot of ideas for me as a woman of what being a comedian is, like that I'm some wild woman, like, sex freak, like all this stuff. And I'm not that at all. Like, even if I'm wild on stage, which I don't have like a very sex heavy act or anything, but I am very wild. I'm a maniac on stage. And then I'm in person, I'm pretty soft, tired, low energy. I go home right after my set. I've never hooked up on the road. I'm never, any of that. I'm so the opposite of, like, all my comedian friends are like, know how wholesome I am. They always call me wholesome, but like when I go on these dates, if they look me up or they know who I am, they have all these assumptions about like what my life is, and I find that really difficult,
Yeah, I get that. My favorite is when I'm on a date with somebody and they're like, "What do you do for work?" And I'm like, well, I'm an author.
Yeah.
I teach.
Right.
And I also talk to dead people.
Yes.
And most of the time, it's like I'm met with a lot of curiosity. But there was one time where I was on a date with a guy and he goes, "That's not real."
And you're like, well, this isn't going to work.
I was like, okay.
So how many readings do you do a week?
Well, if it's a non-show week and I'm home, like 4 or 5.
Okay.
I used to do like 15.
Are you serious?
Yes.
How did you?
I don't know.
I don't know how you did that either.
I don't know how I did it either. And my mentors would be like, "You're doing too much." I'm like, "No, I'm not." Like, I've got like one eye twitching and I'm like, my mental health is in the toilet,
Spring equinox. This is pretty cool.
Yes, it's the equinox. We have the new moon in Pisces.
Mercury.
We have Mercury going direct. Like, honey, all the things happening today.
Right. I hope it'll make Mr. Trump get a little more fucking direct.
Honey, it's crazy. It's listen, I have a lot of hope for the times that we're in.
Please give me some hope. I want to feel hope.
I think that we're in hope. I think you have to have hope because I think that we live in a universe that is perfectly balanced all of the time.
Okay, thank you.
And so for as much despair as there is, and there is despair and there is suffering, there's no way around that.
Right.
But there is just as much joy and hope to be had. I have a lot of hope for humanity.
Well, I like the way that you just said that, and it was a broader extrapolation of like what I have been meditating about grief is that like my life got shattered overnight. Like the worst thing that I could ever imagine in my life happened. And so now I'm never not going to feel that sadness, but I just have to learn to enjoy and feel beauty and like around with it.
Yeah.
Because I just have to accept both, and I have to like welcome and experience all the good alongside it. Because I can't, like, if I just have that, I'm never gonna get to the.
And knowing that our loved ones aren't suffering, no matter how they departed. We're the ones that's left with the suffering and the grief. They're doing great.
Right.
And I think that's the true beauty of it.
Yeah.
That's the number one question I get asked. I've done, like, I'm not even kidding. I've done thousands of readings. Right. Last year I did 50 live shows. This year I've got 40 scheduled. Like,
oh my God.
And the number one question that I get asked every single time is my loved one okay?
Right.
And they're more than okay. And I think that's a really beautiful thing that we ask.
Yeah. Oh, it's hard.
Yeah. And death is the one thing we all have in common.
I know. And yet, like, we somehow suspend belief. Like, or it's not, like, we just go about our daily lives knowing that, but not really knowing it until it affects you.
Yeah. And I think that if you're open, I think that grief can eventually, not right away, but eventually be a gift.
Yeah.
That helps you see how truly precious our time here is.
Right, and short.
Yeah. And while I believe our souls continue on,
so do I
don't believe we die.
So do I.
Death is just a physical experience.
An illusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it makes you really go like, okay, well, if I've only got this amount of time here, I'm not going to waste it thinking about what Chad or Craig says on my videos.
Right.
Sorry to any Chads or Craigs watching.
I'm not sorry. Fuck you.
Do you intimidate men?
I don't.
Well, the wrong men, I should say. Do you intimidate the wrong men?
I'm sure.
Yeah, you have to, because you have this wonderful open energy. You're successful. Honey, you are booked and busy.
Oh, thanks.
So, yeah, I could imagine that, like, but I think that probably, like, is working in your favor, though, because the wrong people are going to look at that and be like, oh, well, this probably isn't going to work. But you know who I think of, who I'm reminded of is, like, Dolly Parton and Carl Dean.
That's so sweet.
How like Dolly could go on the road.
Yeah.
And that you need a Carl Dean, some nice man who's gonna stay at home and cook you dinner.
Yeah, I just want like kindness and like, because you know when I pour my heart and soul into my relationships, and I think that's another thing is like I felt dysregulated in relationships before, and I so fear that. But I've worked so much on that that I know like I don't necessarily really believe that would be a problem anymore.
Yeah.
Especially like I've changed and the people I would choose would have changed and all this stuff. I'm just like afraid to go put in the energy to try and go find them. But it's like if you want something, it's like comedy. It's like, you know, you can't want to be a comedian from inside your home.
Very true. You got to get on the stage. You got to take the step.
I know. I just have to like click in. I might have to give myself a challenge again to get myself out of the house, because those are like the ways that I can keep my word to like myself is to make like actual things that can be like tallied.
Would you want to date somebody that's in the entertainment industry, or would you want to date somebody who's like totally disconnected from it?
I mean, I think the dream would be to not.
Yeah.
Just someone who understands, because I mean, I always wanted a family. I always wanted a family, but now I'm getting like older. I'm like right at the, you know, better like do it or get over it point. But yeah, I don't know, because like I've dated, all my relationships have been with comedians, and I really like not interested in that going forward. I love them as friends so much.
Yeah.
But aside from any like the craziness of both in survival mode for so long trying to make it and all this stuff, it's like gone a lot. Like and another thing is like if I had a kid, unless I was super super rich, like some of like the awesome girl comedians I know who can just bring their baby with them and stuff.
So cool.
But like I wouldn't be able to leave my kid. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how. I don't think I would have the know how to keep doing comedy with a child. And then so when you are dating, is it difficult as an intuitive, because can you feel what they're thinking?
So I can feel when somebody is either not being honest. And so sometimes that's just them not being honest with themselves.
Yeah. I can feel that too.
I can feel where they might be holding on to something. It took me a long time to step back and not look at that from like a judgmental place. Because at first I'm like, oh, they've got trauma. And then I would tell my therapist that, and he'd be like, well, you do too.
Yeah,
and
everyone
I'm like,
does.
oh,
right.
Shit.
I know.
So I really just, if somebody is emotionally available is what I look for, is like, you know, can they show up fully in this connection? You know, sometimes I'll feel things, but I don't, here's the thing though, because I'm not doing like a reading or I'm not in there as a practitioner. I'm just getting like the very surface level.
Yeah, you're just like,
not being honest could be so many things. So it's just something that I feel or pick up on, but I don't dive into it. That'd be like going into their home without their permission and going through their stuff, which I have done when I dated people. Early 20s though.
He's honest. I love
listen,
that.
honey, don't hide.
Look, you have to learn get there.
You do, and then you realize like
mistakes.
Yeah, and you're like, you know what? Maybe I just don't need to go through their drawers while they're at work after they've trusted me to be in their home. But that was like early 20s, very wounded version of me. But but there'll be times like where I'm on dates, and sometimes a loved one will come through. There's one time where I was with this. Again, you know, a mom who had departed, and he was within his first year of grief.
The moms really come through.
They do. And then, you know, and I've had like things where I'll be out with friends, and, you know, sometimes I'll walk up to somebody, and there's this one guy at the nightclub. He had a ring around his chain, and I just like grab it, and I was like, oh my gosh, was this with your husband that departed? And then, you know, he starts crying on the dance floor.
Shit.
And that's just not the time, right?
Right.
Yeah.
How is it sober now? Like, is it come through stronger, or is it like more, because did it come through when you were drinking?
Yeah, because I got my mind out of the way
Right.
when I was drinking. Now, and like, so I'm sober from alcohol.
Right.
I have done guided journeys with psilocybin.
Oh, you have?
Oh,
I've done ayahuasca.
Oh,
4 times.
I keep putting it out there for that medicine to call to me when it's ready.
It's calling to me, but I take Prozac, which I really need,
Okay,
especially right now, and helps me like tremendously. And like I would have to do like a whole 6-week process of getting off of that to be able to go. But it's like I wanted to go see my brother so bad in ayahuasca.
Yeah. That's beautiful though.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. When the time is right.
Yeah.
I think that medicine comes when the time is right.
Yeah.
But no, for me and working through things like without any substances, it's great. You know, I don't miss hangovers.
Yeah.
I don't miss them.
Right.
Because when I would drink and like we're getting blacked out. It's not like a casual glass of wine.
Right. I get hungover from 2 drinks.
Yeah.
I'm so sensitive.
Yeah, honey, I feel like I have a hangover if I go to bed after 10:30.
So do I. I would say that's the hardest part about being a comedian.
Yeah.
And whenever, like last night I had a 10:30 spot, I'm like, oh my God, it's the middle of the night.
Yes. You're like, it's practically tomorrow.
I know. And I love when someone's like, can we get dinner at 5 or 6? I'm like, yes, I love this.
Yes. You know what I love? I love a good 4 p.m. on a Saturday slot at the club.
I love that.
I live for those.
Yeah, that's really great.
And my crowd likes them too.
I was going to say, like, you already have your own audience, so it's great. Like, you don't have to worry about, like, appeasing a club on, and obviously your crowd you're mixing comedy with them, but which is so cool.
They're the nicest crowd. Like I will say, I get a lot of compliments from clubs where they'll be like, your crowd is some of the nicest people.
Yeah, I'm sure when they're used to dealing with our fucking delinquent.
I'm like, listen, honey, they're grieving.
Yeah.
So like they're chill.
Right.
And they drink.
Yeah.
So like we're good. They really are. I feel very blessed that that's what I've attracted in.
Yeah. And I've tried to like, I feel, and who knows, I'm not a staff at a comedy club who, in my opinion, are soldiers. These working in a comedy club is, I mean, besides being actual soldiers in war, I think is one of the hardest jobs. People are belligerent sometimes. They're not paying attention. They're rude. You have to try and get all these orders and communication without disrupting the show. You have to bend down like in the front row carrying drinks while trying to be like a ninja where no one notices you. I mean, it just looks so difficult. So if you work at a comedy club, we see you.
Shout out.
You are a legend. That is such a difficult job. But of course, I know you are so excellent. I know that your crowd would be.
They're great. I mean, you know, occasionally you get the occasional rowdy person who thought they were coming to see a comedian, and it's like, oops, sorry, just kidding.
Like, how'd you find me at 4 p.m.?
Yeah, like, what are you doing here?
This is like, you had to go beyond the veil to get here.
You sure did.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you. The comedy club staffs have just been all so wonderful and so welcoming, and they really are soldiers. You're right.
They are soldiers. Okay, I have one last question. Do you believe in aliens?
Yeah, of course.
Have you always believed in aliens?
Yes.
And so, like, what do they mean to you? Like, what do you think it's...
I like to think of them as, I mean, first of all, I think it's just statistically improbable that we are alone in this universe.
Right, when we're like the smallest
Yes.
speck.
I think, I believe just statistically it's just not possible. Plus, like, I talk to dead people, so I believe in a lot of stuff. But I think what my belief is that they're more interdimensional versus like little green men. They could be. Right. But I like to think...
Or there might be a version of them, that one sect of them or something.
Sure, absolutely. I like to think of it as more like interdimensional beings, that they can go in between dimensions and travel in ways that maybe our human brain can't comprehend. But no, I fully believe them. I believe that, I believe they've been here. I don't think it's like a...
So you think they're like walking among us?
Yeah, but I don't think it's like in like a... maybe it's in a creepy way.
Sinister way?
You know what, honey? A couple of months ago, before I found out that our world was ran by sex trafficking pedophiles, I may have had a different answer for you. Right. But now that I know that truth, now I'm like, you know what? I don't know.
I always say this. I'm like, everything that sounded like an absolute batshit conspiracy theory 3 years ago is like way too much of it is true. Like, is where you're like, these people are all those psychos, like, God, they're weird. And then so much of it is true. So you're like, I don't know what to believe anymore.
Yeah. But, you know, and I think it can be very easy to get lost in all of that. Yeah. And feel discouraged.
Especially when you're online all the time. Like, I remember when I would was younger comic and I'd see like older comics online like just retweeting like political shit and just always like the dark and just expressing despair of like the circumstances of the world. And I'm like, fuck, I have become that person. I don't talk about politics on stage at all, like just because I like my comedy to be really silly and to be an escape for people. But like online, if you saw my online presence, like the shit I'm reposting every day about like Epstein files and stuff, like I am that freak. And I every time I go online, I'm like huffing the bad shit, like intaking like a oxygen mask of just the most horrific shit ever. I'm like, I just wish I could be fully offline.
Yeah, I think it's important to be aware and then also notice for yourself like when it's becoming too consuming, because the goal is to exhaust people.
Yeah, so that we're
so it's like we see so much of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're just
and
tired.
Desensitized.
And we're desensitized.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh well.
Yes.
So I think, but again, remembering that we're here in this timeline for a reason.
Right.
And I think that there are a lot of people who do a wonderful amount of good in this world.
Yeah, they are. Totally.
And so, but I think I was raised on like Mr. Rogers, the Care
Same with
Bears,
me.
and
Same
Richard
with me.
Simmons. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like what I love about the Care Bears, what I just pieced together?
What?
When they would do the Care Bear stare, they would look at something difficult, but not because they were getting lost in it or because they were feeling despair. They looked at something difficult so they could send love to it and bring light to it.
Oh my God, this is Space Out exclusive. That was an incredible. Oh my God, that's so. I'm vibrating from that. That's true. To send love to the difficult.
So we got a Care Bear stare the shit out of these things.
We got a Care Bear stare. My first screen name was Care Bear 23.
There's a reason why I brought that up. I love it. The other thing, this one last like little gripe. When COVID happened in 2020?
Yeah.
Around this time, and the Pussycat Dolls got back together. And now they just announced like another tour and another reunion. I'm like, listen, girls, I love you, but maybe we just don't loosen up the buttons. Maybe we just reframe on the reunion for a little bit.
I'm sure we're on the same side of TikTok where it's like all the intuitives are like, I have the same feeling right now as I did right before COVID. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, even like I'm not the best like at astrology. It's too much math. And I can't, once you start talking about things, trining shit, I'm like, I'm lost.
I was like, I don't remember that. I was reading a novel during that class.
Yeah. But here's what I think is great is there's a lot of these like repetitive, but astrology is about noticing patterns.
Yeah.
Which we're really good at as neurodivergence, right?
Yeah.
Pattern recognition.
Yes.
Here's what I think is so wonderful is that we are at this place where it's like we could either continue on as we've continued on.
Right.
Or we can shift and change into something that's better.
Right. So there's going to be a lot of deconstruction happening.
Listen, Pussycat Dolls, if you are watching this,
stay away.
Just go in easy.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Just go easy.
Yeah. Oh, this was so nice. Oh, gosh. I just enjoyed this so much. This is a real thrill for me.
Thank you.
Yeah,
this was
thanks
such
for
a pleasure.
coming on.
Yes.
And tell everyone where they can go see you and where to find you.
You can find me at travisholp.com and on social media at Travis Warrior Unicorn.
I love his TikTok. It's so positive and informative and fun and interesting. And you're currently on tour.
I'm currently on tour through the end of the year.
Through the end of the year, all around the country, go see him.
Yep, travisholp.com/tour.
Love it.
Doing live mediumship and, some comedy, but I really leave it up to the loved ones that flash me to be funny. So.
Yeah, which sounds like they're doing a great job.
They're doing a great job keeping us on our toes, especially me.
And he's Comedy Club staff approved.
I do love the Comedy Club staff.
Well, Travis, this was so nice. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, love. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Blair Bears. Give us a 5-star review, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Let's go. Let's get this shit off the ground, okay? And leave some comments on the YouTube, on the Reddit. Thank you, Harmony. Shout out Harmony for making the Reddit. Love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great week. God bless.
Subscribe.